This looks like a job for Superman.
Hey everybody, Rez the Collector here with Superboy Review Part 2. Now as you can see, I have two Superboys in front of me. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little story that goes along with this. Basically, the day I got my Superboy, my original one, which is this gentleman here on the right. Immediately as I was taking him out of package, before I even had him fully out of the packaging, his left leg fell off. Excuse me. This guy right here. And I was, needless to say, unhappy about that. I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat. I posted a picture to Facebook showing that the leg had fallen off. And a lot of my friends who are collectors commiserated with me. But one friend actually took it to the next level. I've actually sent an email to DC about quality control issues. I actually sent it about a week before I got this figure because of all the other quality control issues that not only myself but other collectors have been experiencing, not only with figures but with statues. And that's not something, I mean, not that I can say it's excusable with figures, but I can see it happening more with a figure than with a statue. And both myself and Trav Nasty both received damaged Rockefort statues, the Man of Steel line, and it's the most beautiful statue in the line thus far, but it was broken. Trav's actually had a chip in his, and mine, they hadn't actually cleaned all the molding off of mine, and his fingers extended too far, and they weren't painted. He also had some flesh tone paint on his collar. So I ended up sending back mine to DC and got a replacement. Thankfully, I bought that statue directly from DC, so I didn't have any issues with that. Travis also ended up replacing his. But that, plus the quality control issues that we've been seeing with the action figures as well, prompted me to send an email to DC. They never responded to me. I requested that my email be sent up to management, those in charge of DC Collectibles, to see if we can get some kind of resolution. I wasn't looking to get anything from them, and I even stated in my email that they had, taken care of me when I reported my issues, but that this needed to go higher than just your standard customer service. And I never heard a response, which is kind of disappointing, and maybe it's still floating around the higher echelons, but I really doubt that. They probably looked at it, said this guy's an asshat, and deleted it. And I will admit, throughout most of the email, I was very nice, but at the end I also started to rant about the fact that they no longer give us stands, and that was probably a mistake. You do, of course, always track more flies with honey, and I was nice up until that point. Even that wasn't that. I was just like, also, what the heck is with us not getting stands? But needless to say, I didn't get a response. Now, what Rob did is, after he'd seen my picture of my broken Superboy, it made him think, because he also has a broken figure. His Green Arrow figure has the exact same issue. It might even be the same leg that just falls off. And he wasn't actually at home at the time, so what he did is he sent a tweet to Jeff Johns. Now, Jeff Johns, I'm sure all of you know, is one of the prolific writers at DC. He's also involved in a lot of the TV shows. And crazy enough, Jeff actually got back to Rob and asked for his address and said that, they tried to get something taken care of. And Rob was nice enough to let me know this. I mean, he really didn't have to, and that proves what a nice guy Rob is. So if you've not checked out Rob's channel, go ahead and check out Rob's Rogues. And I'm sorry I keep bumping the stupid tripod. Rob's Rogues. He does a lot of great reviews on his channel. He also does an awesome show called The Rogue Show with himself and a few other the reviewers that you would probably run into on YouTube. ODC, that's me, Automatica, Stu Murray 47, and Chapman Films. And they just sit there and talk back and forth about DC, comic books, figures. They cover everything. But Rob let me know. He said, hey, I actually heard back from them, and we're going to see what happens. And then he got an email a few days later basically saying, hey, they're going to get some figures out to you. So he let me know, and we were hoping, that he would get a replacement for his Green Arrow, and I'd get a replacement for my Superboy. So he gets the package in the mail, and they'd actually sent him an email saying, we're sending you all the Titans. So he gets the package in the mail, he lets me know, and I was disappointed for him that he did not get his Green Arrow. And I said, well, why don't you just keep the other 2 figures? You're the one that made this happen. I think both of us wanted Kid Flash. And I will still pick him up at some point. But I was like, you know what, just go ahead and... because I know he wanted Wonder Girl. I was like, go ahead and keep the other 2 figures. I'm sorry you didn't get a replacement for your Green Arrow. And you're the one that made all this happen. And, it's not just for me. It's for all of us out there who collect from DC. I'm just happy to know that they are aware that these issues are happening. So he went ahead and sent me the Superboy, and I of course paid him for shipping because I wasn't going to make Rob, after all he'd done, pay for shipping. So he kept Wonder Girl and Kid Flash, and he sent me the Superboy, and that's the Superboy you see on the left here. Now, as you can probably tell just from looking at the new Superboy, his quality is a lot better than my original. The main point being his leg does not fall off. He also doesn't have the silver showing through like my original figure does. Now, not to say that his paint is perfect, because it isn't. He does still have some overpaint issues, mainly with the black overpainting onto the red. You can see it here on his bicep, and you can see a little bit here, and there's just a few spots, a little bit here. But it's nowhere near as bad as my original figure, and again, his leg is still attached, which is the main thing. Because as you can see on my original, there's a big paint drip on the S, there's silver showing through everywhere, there's black paint everywhere, and the way I can easily tell these 2 apart is 1, the paint drip on the S, and 2, you can tell, let me get up in the white area, you can see that hip. You see how his right hip is flush, but his left hip isn't. It kind of bulges out a little bit. You can tell the difference here on the new one. That's that leg. And a lot of people think it's the clear joints. And as you can see, the one leg here extends there and stops. This one just keeps going until it pops off. And this honestly isn't the only figure I have that does that. The little Injustice packs that came out with the smaller figures, my Superman Nightwing, Stewart also had this issue where the Superman leg just comes right off. I actually have him in a flight pose hanging in my display case because, well actually no, I think I took him down. But regardless, any little movement and his leg just pops off and he just kind of topples over. But enough about bad Superboy. So we're going to go ahead and set him off to the side. And I just want to take a good close look at the new one, and I want to do some comparison shots. In my original Superboy video, the Angry Superboy video, I took a look at him alongside my other Superboy figures just to see kind of scale and the way DC has progressed, not only in the change of costumes, but sculpting and paintwork and all of that. So we took a look at the other Superboys from DC Direct or DC Collectibles in my collection, and just did some comparisons. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Now, of course, his leg is firmly attached, which is nice. I'm not messing too much with his articulation, because I don't want to risk him just falling apart. I don't think he's going to, but I really don't want to risk that. Now, for articulation on him, just like in the other video, I did go over that, but he does have a ball-jointed head, so we don't have a whole lot of movement there, but we do have some movement. He has ball-jointed shoulders, a bicep swivel, a bend at the elbow, and he has a swivel in the forearm instead of the wrist. Excuse me. He has absolutely no ab crunch to speak of, or a waist rotation. He does, of course, have hip, and he has knee, and like the arm, instead of a true, he doesn't have like a thigh, but he does have a shin rotation, and then of course he does have ankle rockers, which thankfully are very tight on mine. Again, the paintwork on this one is so much better than my original, and so much better, unfortunately, than a lot of them that I've seen out there. This is the only one I've ever seen so far with all of them that I've seen posted in videos that has absolutely no silver on it that I can tell. So that's one thing they really need to clean up their paintwork. I mean, more importantly, they need to make sure their figures don't fall apart, but they need to clean up their paintwork. So we've taken a good look at him, we've talked about the story, and now I want to do some comparison shots between him and some of his compatriots. Now the first one I want to show you is him with the New 52 Superman. And the one I'm choosing for this is actually my favorite of the New 52s. Well, it's kind of tied with the metallic from Trinity War, but I like this head sculpt better. And this is the Superman from the 7-pack We Can Be Heroes set, and hey, it's one of my videos, so something fell over. From the 7-pack We Can Be Heroes set, and I just like that comparison side by side. They look awesome together, and this is actually how they're displayed in the case. So they look amazing side by side. Now the other comparison shot I wanted to do, and I really like this, I didn't do this until today, and that was getting him with the rest of the current Superman family. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a Supergirl figure yet. She's coming out later this year. But what we do have are the Kotobukiya statues, which I do have, I do own. And I had them all three together before the beginning of this video. And actually, they look really good together. The scale, sorry about that, the scale is really nice together, actually. The scale is actually, I would say, much more almost appropriate than the actual figures are. So there we've got Superboy. And there, of course, I'll back this up so we can get a better view of it, is the Kotobukiya Superman and the Kotobukiya Supergirl. So let me just back this up a little bit so we can get a better look at the Superman family, the New 52 Superman family together. I really like the scale comparison, other than the fact that his head, while a little bit too big for his action figure body, is a little too small in comparison with the other two. But the height comparison between him and Kara is really, really nice. He looks correct. There went something else. It's not even on film. It's not even on film and it falls down. The height comparison is really nice between him, Kara, and Superman. I can't wait till they actually get us a Kotobukiya Superboy in this statue line, because I will definitely be picking that up. But because I have two Superboys, I'm actually definitely going to be displaying, I'll be displaying the nicer one with the action figures, but the older broke down Superboy is actually going to be displayed with these two. And I think it's actually going to be displayed exactly like I have it here, with Superman out front and Superboy and Supergirl on either side of him. So I really, really like this image. I'm shocked I didn't actually do this when I originally got the figure, but I was so disheartened by the figure when I originally got him that really I honestly, I did the review, I did my angry review, and I stuck him in the display case in his proper spot. But after that, I was kind of done. I was like, you know what, I don't really want to look at this anymore. So I didn't do that, but I've done it now. And you know, you guys can disagree with me about scale, about whatever, but I think they look just amazing together. Their scale looks right to me, with of course Superman being taller and larger, and then the two younger kids next to him. To me, that's just an iconic, amazing image, and I actually may take just a photo of this, and that may be my new profile picture for Facebook, because I just love the way this looks. But guys, this is going to go ahead and end this video. Now there is a table dance of the day coming up after this, so stay tuned for that. It is a little loud, so you may want to turn your volume down a little bit. Not off, because you're still going to hear it, but turn it down a little bit. And of course, throughout this video, you've been listening to the John Williams Superman theme from the 1970s Superman movie, and I want to say that I do not own this music, nor do I own any other music that you may hear coming up. I am just using them for review and display purposes. So again, thank you very much, guys. Again, this is Rez the Collector. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I want to thank you for watching, and you have a very nice day.